Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Queenie K here, and today's video clearly is all about my holy grail top answers, tips to natural hair care. So basically I kind of just thought of all the questions that I usually get about hair and I kind of put them all together and came up with the answers and just put in all the tips that I go by to the T, tips that I do not forget to listen to, tips that I swear by, and tips that I just would not be able to get through my natural journey without. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is twist outs. So I get a lot of questions about how to maintain twist outs, how to do a good twist out. First of all, the first thing I have to say is never ever ever take out your twist out when it's not fully dry. You will regret it. That is the first tip. If you want a good twist out, you need to wait till it's dry. You need to wait till it's dry. If it's not dry, it's gonna cut, you're gonna take it out and it's gonna be frizzy. And if it's frizzy, it's not gonna last. And then you just wasted all that time twisting up your hair for nothing. And the second thing I wanna talk about for twist outs is that learn how to rope twist. That's the first thing, actually. Learn how to rope twist properly so then you're not just doing single, regular twists, and then your twist will come out more defined. I don't know if you watch some people's twist out videos, the twists literally come out in a nice S shape. It's not frizzy, there's a really good shape to it. If you know how to rope twist properly, your twist out will come out a lot more defined. I'll try to find a good video to post down below to show you guys, but when you rope twist, when you're done twisting and you let go, it won't fluff up, if you know what I mean. It won't unravel a little bit. You know how it loosens up sometimes when you let go? When you know how to rope twist properly and really tight, it'll stay. So the shape stays and the length and everything stays and the roots don't get all puffed up and all of that. So learn how to rope twist. And last but not least, I have a lot of girls who ask me, how do you keep your twist so defined throughout the day? As soon as I leave my twists out for an hour, by then they're just frizzy. So also don't be afraid to add kind of a holding product to your twist out routine. I know girls who do twist outs with Eco Styler, which I personally do not need, but if you need to do that, don't be afraid to do that. Obviously don't abuse it because you don't want your twist to be flaking when you take it out, but you can try to find a product that is kind of like a gel, not a non-alcoholic gel, maybe a curling custard or Eco Styler. You could try using a little bit of that in your routine. Whatever works for you, just don't do too much. Just a tiny little bit to get your hair to hold together. And again, if you know how to rope twist, the shape will hold a lot better. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is edges, girl. Edges. Where do I start? Okay, so when it comes to maintaining your edges and taking care of your edges, the first thing I have to say is usually if you're struggling with your edges, it's not that you have bad edges or that they're ugly or they're just not good enough. It's usually that they're just not nurtured and they're not healthy enough, because I used to think that my edges were so tough and so difficult, they didn't do anything, I couldn't lay them, but honestly they were just dry. They were just dry. And when they're dry, when my hair is dry, when my edges are dry, it won't lay down, it won't cooperate. So you have to treat your edges like the rest of your hair. Are you able to style your hair when it's dead dry and brittle? Probably not. So you have to think about your edges the same way. If you've been putting gel on it every single day, brushing it, putting edge controls, got to be glued to hold down your wig, all that stuff, and you don't take a second to think about them or put leave-in conditioner on them, or you don't really deep condition that part, you don't focus on that when you deep condition your whole head, your edges will get dry and brittle and it will be harder to tame and they won't cooperate as well. It works the same as the rest of your hair. So just think of that when you're actually trying to figure out how to kind of snatch your edges and take care of them. And yeah, besides hydrating them and making sure that they're not dry, you also have to use product on them. So like I said, leave-in conditioner, don't forget to deep condition that part as well. And oil does strengthen your hair, so don't forget to put oil on your edges and the actual scalp part, so it'll help grow those edges out if you do have breakage or some balding. And the last tip for edges is to just leave them alone, let them breathe, girl. It's not everyday slick edges. And people who think that, oh girl, you need to do something about your hair because your edges aren't laid, can take a hike. I don't care. I feel people just think oh, your hair is so nappy if your edges aren't done. that needs to be the normal thing. Like, edges do not always need to be slicked back, like snatching people's souls. Like, it's not necessary every day. It's not everyday snatched edges, you know? Whatever, do your thing, but it's not for everybody. If you know your edges are fragile, let it breathe. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Put in your oils. Make sure they're moisturized. Don't even comb them. Like, brush them back a little bit. Get it into your ponytail or your bun. Bobby pin them if you need to, lightly, and leave it alone. That's it. That's it. Just leave it. And another question I always get is how I get my ponytails and buns so slick and sleek. First thing, only thing I have to say actually is make sure your hair is properly detangled. Comb through it, and then deal with like getting some detail in the puff later. Or if you're just doing a bun, you obviously don't need your curls to be like poppin', but if you want to do like a low ponytail and your puff is in the back and you want it to look defined, detangle your hair so it's flat, pull it back, and then work on defining the puff later. Or when you wash your hair, detangle it really well in the shower, so when you get out and you try to put in a ponytail, it goes down nice and flat. Okay, so the next question that I always get is, how do you keep and maintain a wash and go? So the first thing, the only thing I do actually is use the banding method. If you don't know what that is, I will link a video down below of how I do my banding method. So that's how I manage and maintain my wash and goes, and that helps it last for days and days and days. And another thing when it comes to wash and goes, to keep them from getting frizzy, just let them air dry. It's not everybody's hair works with diffusers. If you find that when you diffuse your hair gets really frizzy, next time you do a wash and go, just let it air dry and see how it works. Don't touch it, just leave it and let it sit in the product and let it dry by itself, and that usually minimizes the frizz. And another popular question that people like to ask is, how do you get your hair to grow? It's like, it just does. Like, that's what hair does, you know? But you have to maintain the length, and to maintain it, you have to make sure you're taking care of it, trimming your ends, eating properly, all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, if somebody has crazy long hair that is like unexplainable, it's usually genetics. Genetics does play a factor in hair length and hair growth. Some people's hair grow faster than the average amount per month. The average amount is ½ an inch per month. Somebody's hair might grow an inch per month because it's just in their genes. So you can't necessarily get a grasp on how fast your hair will grow. You can't really force your hair to grow faster, but you can do your best to maintain every single inch that does grow out of your head. So when it does grow out, you take care of it and you trim it and you nourish it. You don't put heat to it. You don't chemically do anything about it. It will eventually show length. Like, you will see the length eventually. But in terms of making your hair grow super fast, you can take your supplements to kind of rise, like to kind of get your hair to its maximum peak of your monthly hair growth, if that makes sense. Like, if your monthly maximum is ½ an inch, you can't change your genetic makeup to make it an inch a month, but you can make sure that you get your whole ½ an inch every single month, so then you don't miss out on hair growth. So to do that, you have to nourish your body enough that your hair gets nutrients to push out good healthy hair, if that makes sense. I'm trying to do it in the simplest way. So all these scientists, don't come for me. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. If you nourish your body enough, your hair and your nails get the last of the nutrients. So if you have enough nutrients in your body and it's gotten to everywhere, the rest will go to your hair. So you want to make sure that there's enough to go to your hair. So you can take biotin, hair vitamins, or multivitamins, whatever, eat properly. Just make sure your body's doing well. Okay, and another tip I want to talk about is fluffing your hair. So when you do a twist out or a wash and go and you let it air dry, or you do a nice fresh twist out and you want it to look bigger, don't be scared to use an Afro pick. Like, people are like, oh my goodness, combing your hair when it's done. You guys know what an Afro pick looks like. Or even a Y2 comb. Just pull your hair a bit, stick it at the root and fluff it, pull it out. Don't comb it through all the way, pull it through the root a little bit so it stretches your hair, and then pull it out. And do that through each layer, and your hair will look perfect, honey. It will look perfect. And if it's a twist out, obviously go and separate some more, but do this at the root so your hair looks fuller and bigger. If you do have pretty thin hair, that's a way you can make it look fuller and bigger. Pick the roots, pick the roots. Don't be scared, but don't pick it all the way through, or else you're just gonna have a mess. Okay, and next thing I want to talk about is breakage. I do get a lot of questions on how to minimize breakage. Heat, chemicals, dryness, and over manipulation. Like, that is the top things that usually cause breakage. Don't straighten your hair. Don't do it. Don't do it. I feel like nothing good comes out of it, but if you know your hair and you know your hair can handle the one straightening once a year or twice a year or 3 times a year, do your thing. It still does cause damage, but do your thing. Like, if you know you can handle it with not too much damage, then of course go for it, and then just trim your ends, whatever you need to do. It's your hair. And chemicals, obviously, don't relax your hair, don't texturize your hair. You don't need all that. Your hair is perfect the way it is. And dryness. Dryness is a huge thing for me when it comes to breakage. When my hair breaks, it's usually because it's very dry and brittle and it has split ends, and then it breaks off. So to get a grasp on that, I make sure I have an amazing leave-in conditioner, and I make sure that I deep condition every single week so I can hydrate my hair properly from the inside out, not just putting like random products on top of it that don't soak in. Deep condition it, let it soak into your hair, let it hydrate your hair properly, and have leave-in conditioners that you put throughout your hair all the time. I use leave-in conditioners like it's water. Make sure your hair isn't getting dry. Just stay on top of your deep conditioning and leave-in conditioners and spritzing and all of that. And manipulation, obviously don't be aggressive with your hair, be gentle with it. Wet your hair, it's best to work with your hair when it's wet anyways. Detangling your hair when it's wet. I'll make another video about that. Yeah, detangling your hair when it's wet is best. Okay, and the next thing is protective styling. There's a lot of girls who protective style all the time and they still have problems with growth and what's it called, breakage and all that stuff. So it's usually because the protective styling isn't necessarily doing much for them. The protective styling could be hurting their hair more than it's helping. It could be causing your hair to be too dry. It could be too tight. And the synthetic hair, like let's say if it's braids, the synthetic hair rubbing up against your real hair could cause breakage as well. So it might be just too much for your hair, and you just need to let your hair breathe sometimes. If you're protective styling back to back to back to back to back, and you find that your ends are thinning, or you're getting breakage, or your hair is just dry all the time, just give it a break. I find that when I protective style too much, I get a lot of breakage on my ends, or a lot of thinning on the ends. So then it's like my roots are nice and full because it's growing, but the ends are just tired and they're just like, ugh, you know? So that's my problem, but that's not for everyone. But just protective styling, just be gentle, be nice to your hair, don't do it for too long, don't keep it for too long, and let your hair breathe for some time before doing another style. Okay, and the next thing I want to talk about is water. Don't be scared of it. Like, don't be scared of it. You can spray your hair with water daily if you need to. If your hair is dry, leave-in conditioner and water. That is a great start. I feel like a lot of the times we're so used to having your hair in like set styles, so we're afraid to spray it with water because it'll ruin the style. If your hair cannot retain moisture enough to keep your twist out like healthy and hydrated for the whole week that you're trying to keep a twist out, forget that. Do your twist out for the 3 days that it can hold and nourish your hair after that. Put some water in it, put some leave-in conditioner, and do a different kind of style. Even if your twist out gets a little puffy, do a different style with it. You don't always have to have that perfect twist out all week just because you worked so hard on it and you want it to stay like that. If your hair is dry and brittle at day 5 of your twist out, forget the twist out. Hydrate your hair, put some cream in it, put some water. Like, it's not by force. I feel like I'm like that. That's why I'm saying this. I'm trying to preach to myself. But if anyone else is like that, who you just want to keep your style all week and your hair is just not feeling nice, suck it up, forget the style, put some water in it, put some leave-in conditioner. It will frizz up, but you will be able to find another kind of style that you can do with that hair from there. Don't be too like tough on making sure your twist out stays perfect all week. Your health, the health of your hair obviously comes first. The next thing I want to talk about is oils. I feel like this is such a like old school thing, but like oil is like the holy grail product. Oil is great, but oil is best for strengthening. Oil does really good for like really good things for your hair strands. It makes them nice and strong and healthy, but it does not hydrate your hair. It sits on top. There are some oils that penetrate it a bit more. I heard like coconut oil is one, I think grapeseed, jojoba oil. There's a lot of these like fancy oils nowadays that they say penetrates your hair a bit more. But oil is not meant to hydrate your hair. So even if you have 50 different oils, you still need a good deep conditioner, you still need some water, you still need a good leave-in conditioner as well, because those are water-based and they will absorb. Hair absorbs very, very well. It absorbs moisture very, very well. That's what hair does, like it, you know? So oil is great for strengthening, but it is not a hydrating product. It is not a moisturizing product. It is a strengthening product. It is a shining product. It is a health beneficial product, if that makes sense. So don't let oil be your only product, because your hair can still be dry if you have oil in it. It can be brittle if you have oil in it. I know this from experience. I had to learn the hard way. And last but not least, just listen to your hair. So after everything I say today, at the end of the day, listen to your hair, but be honest with yourself and actually make a good decision to see if you need to change your routine. Listen to your hair. Don't stick to the ideas that you know. Don't stick to the rules that you think work if your hair isn't really feeling it. So obviously take these tips with a grain of salt. So yeah, this is a kind of a longer video than I expected, but I hope it was helpful and that it will solve some of your issues if you have any of these issues. But that's it. At the end of the day, love your hair, listen to your hair, take care of it inside and out, and do your thing, boo. Do you, boo. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful and informative. I try to do videos like this every once in a while because, you know, we forget and we kind of let things slide. So this is just a reminder to you and for me that we need to like stay on top of this. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, because first of all, how are you gonna watch this whole video and not subscribe? Hit that subscribe button and make sure you thumbs up this video and comment down below. Let me know if this was helpful or if you have any other tips for me or anyone else who comes across this video. Don't be selfish, don't be greedy, put your tips down below. And yeah, just say hi. I like to see comments and stuff, so comment down below, let me know you're here. And obviously follow me on my social medias, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And yeah, I'm all on there, so add me, let's be friends. Okay, bye guys.